If you are hearing this right now, do not move, do not scroll, do not tell yourself you'll listen later. This moment found you for a reason. Something bigger than coincidence brought you here. You may think you just stumbled on this video, but you didn't. You were led here. Your life has been busy, loud, complicated, and full of things pulling you in 1,000 directions. But right now, everything else can wait because this is for you. This isn't a regular message. This isn't background noise. This isn't just another voice on the internet. This is a moment specially placed in your life, and if you truly listen, it may change more than you realize. You might not even know how tired your heart has been. You've been surviving, functioning, pretending to be okay, showing up every day, smiling when required, living strong on the outside, while quietly worn on the inside. You've gone through things others would not understand. You've held in tears in moments when no one around you noticed your silent battles. You've felt misunderstood, unseen, forgotten at times. But the truth is, you've never been unseen. You've never been forgotten. Even in the moments you felt completely alone, something greater than you was still watching you, guiding you, protecting you in ways you didn't even recognize. There have been moments you questioned everything: your faith, your direction, your purpose, your future. Life did not always go the way you hoped. People you trusted walked away. Doors you prayed for never opened. You smiled while carrying pain nobody knew you still felt. And somewhere along the way, your heart learned to protect itself. You stopped expecting too much. You stopped hoping too boldly. You learned to stay guarded, because hoping too deeply felt dangerous. And yet, here you are, listening, still searching, still longing for something real, something true, something beyond temporary comfort. And that is not an accident. This moment is not about fear. It's not about pressure. It's about love. The kind of love that does not force itself, but also refuses to give up on you. The kind of love that has followed you through your mistakes, through your doubts, through your seasons of silence and confusion. There were moments you almost lost yourself, moments you didn't know if you'd find peace again, but somehow you made it through. You didn't just survive those seasons by strength alone. Something greater carried you, and that same divine presence is speaking to you right now. Right now, I want you to breathe. Slow down for a moment. You don't have to run. You don't have to fix everything in this second. You don't need to figure your whole life out tonight. You just need to stay here, present, listening, because what's coming next is not random. It is meant to reach the part of you that has been hurting quietly, the part of you that smiles but struggles, the part of you that keeps going even when tired, the part of you that doesn't always know how to ask for help, but deeply needs comfort, reassurance, and direction. You have walked through storms that nobody even knows about. You have had nights where your thoughts were louder than your peace. You have faced decisions that weighed heavier than your words could explain. But nothing you went through was unnoticed. Every tear, every fear, every silent breakdown was seen by the one who has been patiently waiting for the right moment to speak deeper to your heart. And that moment is now. You do not need to pretend here. You do not need to be perfect here. You do not need to be spiritually strong or emotionally unbreakable. You only need to be honest with yourself for a moment. Because, deep down, you know there has always been something greater calling you, pulling you, guiding you gently, even when life felt chaotic. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't luck. And it definitely wasn't random. It was purpose. Carefully weaving moments together to bring you exactly where you needed to be. Maybe you have run from it sometimes. Maybe life distracted you. Maybe pain built walls around your heart. Maybe disappointment made you back away from faith or from hope. But this message isn't scolding you. It isn't blaming you. It isn't here to judge you. It is here to tell you something beautiful. You were never too far gone. You were never too broken. You were never too late. Every delay, every pause, every detour still led you here. And here matters. You have questioned your worth at times. You have wondered if your life truly matters in the bigger picture. Let this speak truth into that doubt. You matter more than you know. Your life has meaning. Your existence is intentional. There is something unique in you that no one else carries, and it was placed there on purpose. You are not an accident. You are not just existing. You are not just surviving. You are part of a divine story still unfolding. Yes, you've been through things that hurt. Yes, you've carried pain that shaped you. Yes, you've faced seasons where you didn't know how things would work out. But you're still standing. You're still breathing. You're still here. That means your story isn't finished. That means there is still purpose ahead. That means something beautiful is still possible. This moment is an invitation, not a demand. An invitation to open your heart just a little more. To allow healing where you didn't realize you still needed it. To allow peace where anxiety has lived too long. To allow hope where disappointment has settled. To allow faith where fear has tried to dominate. You don't need to understand everything to take the next step. Sometimes clarity comes after you choose to stay and listen. Right now, something inside you may feel stirred, maybe emotional, maybe still, maybe curious, maybe gently awakened. Pay attention to that feeling. That's not pressure. That's not manipulation. That's recognition. Your heart recognizing truth. Your soul recognizing something familiar yet powerful. Something you've needed but didn't know how to reach. Stay, don't rush past this. Don't brush it off as just another video. Deep down you know this feels different. Because it is. And this is only the beginning. You are still here. That says something powerful. It means something inside you refused to scroll away. Something inside you recognized that this is not just noise. Something in you is awake right now. And I want you to understand something important. This moment is not about pressure. It is not about being forced into anything. This is about being seen, understood, valued, and guided with love. Real love. Steady love. The kind of love that knows your past, understands your present, and still believes in your future. Life has not always made sense to you. You have faced moments where everything felt uncertain, and yet you had to keep going because life expected you to. You have had to be strong even when you did not want to be. You have had to smile when you were breaking inside. You have carried responsibilities, expectations, burdens, and silent emotions that nobody else truly knew the depth of. And still, you showed up. Still, you kept going. Still, you refused to completely give up on life. But surviving is not the same as living. Being strong is not the same as being at peace. Holding everything together is not the same as being whole on the inside. Somewhere inside of you, you know you deserve more than just getting through. You deserve peace that is real. You deserve clarity that steadies you. You deserve hope that does not feel temporary. You deserve healing that goes deeper than surface comfort. And whether you realize it or not, something greater than you has always wanted that for you. Think back to moments in your past. There were situations that could have destroyed you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. There were seasons you did not think you would come out of. There were times when you felt lost and unsure if you would ever feel normal again. But you are still here. That alone is powerful. That alone tells a story of resilience. That alone reveals that there has been a hand, a grace, a love sustaining you even when you did not recognize it. There is something deeply personal about the journey you have walked. People may think they understand you, but they don't know every thought you've fought. They don't know every silent prayer you whispered. They don't know the moments you wished someone would just say, "I see you. I understand. I'm still with you." And maybe you didn't always hear that from the people around you. Maybe sometimes it felt like you stood alone in crowded rooms. Maybe it felt like you were surrounded yet unseen. But you were never completely alone. Even when people did not show up, something greater still stood with you. You may not recognize how many times you were carried when you had no strength. You may not realize how many times you were protected from things you didn't even know were near. You may not fully understand how many times your path was redirected for your good, even when it felt disappointing in the moment. Not every closed door was rejection. Some were protection. Not every delay was denial. Some were preparation. Not every ending was loss. Some were necessary for something deeper to begin. You have been walking with a heart that has learned to defend itself. You've learned to be careful with hope. You've learned to question good things because you've seen good things fail before. You've learned to stay guarded because vulnerability once cost you deeply. You've learned to carry yourself with strength because breaking felt dangerous. But you were never meant to carry everything alone. You were never meant to fight every battle in silence. You were never meant to live disconnected from the love that made you, knows you, and wants to heal you. Right now, what is happening is deeper than just listening to words. Something within you is remembering that you have always belonged to something greater. Remembering that you have always mattered beyond your mistakes, beyond your doubts, beyond your fears. Remembering that your soul has always had a place where it is understood, valued, guided, and restored. That remembrance is not imagination. It is connection. It is truth, rising again where weariness once lived. There have been moments in your life when you felt a pull you could not explain. Times when you sensed peace for no logical reason. Moments when you felt a warmth inside your heart. When everything around you was uncertain. Quiet times when you felt comfort that you did not know how to put into words. Those were not coincidences. That was presence. That was care. That was love, trying to make itself known gently instead of forcefully. And even in your hardest seasons, when anger, confusion, or pain made you question everything, you were still met with patience. You were not abandoned for doubting. You were not rejected for feeling weak. You were not cast aside for being human. Instead, you were waited for, with understanding, with compassion, with a love that doesn't leave just because you struggle. Right now, this is not about the past you regret. It is not about the mistakes you wish you could erase. It is not about the failures that echo in your memory. This moment is about your heart right now. Your heart that still has the capacity to feel. Your heart that still has the capacity to hope. Your heart that still has the capacity to open, even if carefully. Your heart that still has the capacity to heal, even if slowly. There is still light in you. There is still softness in you. There is still goodness in you that life has not been able to destroy. What lies ahead matters. There are parts of your story that have not been written yet. There are breakthroughs you have not lived yet. There are moments of peace waiting for you that you have not experienced yet. There are answers ahead that confusion tried to hide. There is direction coming to places where you once only felt lost. And this moment right now is part of that unfolding. You do not have to rush. You do not have to panic. You do not have to feel pressured. What you need is honesty with yourself. Honesty about what hurts. Honesty about what you've been holding inside. Honesty about the fact that even though you've been strong, you've also been weary. Honesty that maybe, just maybe, you need something beyond your own strength. And that is where this love meets you. not at the place of perfection, not at the place of performance, not at the place of pretending to have everything together. It meets you right where you are, in your reality, in your confusion, in your questions, in your humanity. It does not demand that you come polished. It simply asks that you be present. If you are still listening, it means your heart has not shut down. It means something inside you is responding. It means you are ready to hear, ready to receive, ready to finally stop running from the healing you deserve. Something beautiful is beginning. Something sacred. Something real. And this journey, it is not finished yet. You are still here. That alone speaks louder than you realize. It means something inside you is responding. Something inside you has recognized that this is not random, not empty, not meaningless. Something inside you understands that there is more for you than just surviving, more for you than staying numb, more for you than carrying silent battles alone. Right now you are standing at a moment that feels gentle yet powerful, quiet yet deeply meaningful, and it matters that you are still listening. You have spent so much of your life carrying weight with strength that others admire, but few truly understand. You have learned how to function while hurting. You have learned how to smile while struggling. You have learned how to stand strong while something inside you trembled. And while that strength has helped you endure, it has also exhausted you in ways most people will never see. But you were never meant to fight every battle alone. You were never meant to carry every burden without help. You were never meant to silence your pain just to appear strong for the world. There is a love speaking to you right now that does not just see the version of you everyone sees. It sees the parts of you that have cried quietly. It sees the thoughts you never voiced. It sees the questions you keep inside. It sees the fears you push away so you can keep functioning every day. And instead of turning away, that love draws nearer. It does not walk away because you struggle. It does not lose patience when you hesitate. It does not give up when you feel unsure. Instead, it stays, it waits, it understands, and it keeps reaching gently for your heart. You may not realize how deeply known you are. Not just your achievements, not just your mistakes, not just your public life, but your private world. The world of thoughts, feelings, and memories that shaped you. The quiet battles that matured you. The pain that toughened you. The disappointments that made you cautious. You are not misunderstood here. You are not unseen here. You are not invisible here. Every part of you is familiar to the one speaking to your heart through this moment. There were moments in your past when you thought you were forgotten. There were seasons where you questioned if you mattered. There were nights where you wondered if anyone would ever truly understand you. But the truth is, you were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were never overlooked. There has always been something greater covering you, guiding you, and waiting patiently for the right time to lead you deeper into peace, rather than simply pushing you to be strong. Look back for a moment, not with regret, not with shame, but with honesty. Think of times you did not know how you would make it through, but somehow you did. Think of challenges that felt unbearable, but eventually something lifted. Think of moments when life could have broken you permanently, but instead you became wiser, stronger, deeper. Survival was not an accident. Strength was not coincidence. Purpose has always been gently at work in your life, even when you did not recognize it. But this moment is not just about reflecting on the past. It is about what comes next. Because your life is not meant to stay in survival mode forever. You are not meant to live constantly bracing for disappointment. You are not meant to exist in a state of emotional exhaustion, always pushing, always holding, always fighting to stay together. You are meant to experience peace that rests your heart, hope that strengthens your spirit, love that heals rather than hurts, clarity that guides rather than confuses. And right now you are being invited into something deeper than endurance. You are being invited into trust, not blind trust, not forced belief, not pressured faith, but trust that grows from being deeply known, deeply loved, deeply valued. Trust in the one who has walked with you even when you did not notice. Trust in the one who understands the layers of your pain. Trust in the one who sees your fears, your doubts, your questions, and still stays with compassion instead of judgment. You do not have to have it all figured out to take a step forward. You do not need every answer to allow healing to begin. You do not need to be perfect to be embraced. All you need is willingness, a heart willing to say, maybe I do not want to keep carrying everything alone. A heart willing to admit, maybe I do need help beyond my own strength. A heart willing to whisper, maybe I am ready to let something deeper, kinder, and more powerful into my life. Because something beautiful happens when you stop pretending you are unbreakable. Something powerful happens when you allow yourself to be human. Something healing happens when you allow love in instead of constantly guarding yourself from it. You begin to breathe differently. You begin to think differently. You begin to see differently. You begin to feel hope again without fear. You begin to believe that peace is not just a dream, but a reality that can belong to you. Your future does not have to look like the pain of your past. Your next chapter does not have to repeat your previous ones. You are not stuck in a cycle unless you choose to remain there. Life has more for you than sleepless nights, emotional heaviness, silent battles, cold strength, and quiet fear. Life has forgiveness waiting to release you from guilt. Life has healing waiting to reach wounds you never talk about. Life has direction waiting to replace confusion. Life has restoration waiting to rebuild places you thought were permanently broken. Right now, your heart knows this moment feels different. There is a softness inside you that is responding. That is not weakness. That is awakening. That is your soul recognizing truth. That is your spirit responding to love that has always been near. But now you are finally still enough to feel it. That sense of peace you feel rising is not imagination. That quiet calm inside you right now is not coincidence. That is what happens when you finally stop running long enough for love to catch you. There will still be challenges ahead in life. There will still be moments of uncertainty. There will still be days that stretch your strength. But the difference is this: you will not face them alone. You will not carry everything silently anymore. You will not live disconnected from the one who made you, knows you, and has always cared for you. With that connection, your perspective changes. Your strength becomes supported. Your hope becomes anchored. Your heart finds rest even in storms. And right now, this is an invitation to say yes. Not a pressured yes. Not a fearful yes. Not a forced yes. A genuine yes. A yes that simply admits, I need you. A yes that says, I cannot do life alone anymore. A yes that whispers, if you have been calling me all this time, I am ready to answer. A yes that opens your heart and allows love to finally do what it has wanted to do for so long. Heal you, lead you, hold you, and transform you gently. If your heart is stirred, do not ignore it. If something in you feels ready, do not silence it. This is not coincidence. This is not emotional manipulation. This is alignment, timing, divine orchestration. Everything that brought you to this moment mattered. Every struggle, every delay, every tear, every confusion, every longing, they led you here. And here is a place of turning. Here is a place of awakening. Here is a place of new beginnings. Take this moment seriously, not with fear, not with panic, but with reverence, with awareness that something sacred is happening inside you, with awareness that your heart is being invited into healing it has needed for so long, with awareness that life is offering you something priceless right now, a chance to begin again, not from the same place of pain, but from a place of love, peace, and surrender. You do not have to be perfect to be chosen. You do not have to have everything together to be loved. You do not have to be without flaws to belong. You only need to be willing to say, I am here. I am listening. I am ready. Because the one who has called you, guided you, protected you, waited for you, and spoken to you through countless moments has not given up on you, and never will. This is your moment, your turning point, your quiet but powerful yes to healing, to love, to God's presence in your life. Hold this moment deeply within you. Let it settle in your heart. Let it remind you every time you doubt, every time you feel weak, every time you feel alone. You are loved, you are seen, you are known, and you were called here for a reason. And from this moment forward, your journey does not end. It truly